Years of dust, smoke damage, cracked varnish, and deep fractures running through the wooden panel like scars from another century. At first glance, it barely looked like a painting anymore. But underneath all that destruction, something was still alive. The restoration begins slowly. Every movement has to be careful. Too much pressure could remove original paint forever. One wrong solvent could erase details that survived hundreds of years. So the first step is patience. Soft cotton swabs glide across the surface. Layer by layer, the dirt begins to dissolve, not aggressively, but gently. And almost immediately, colors start appearing. Deep reds, warm golds, hints of blue hidden beneath centuries of darkness. It's like watching history wake up. The cracks across the panel tell another story. Wood expands and contracts over time. Humidity bends it, heat weakens it, and eventually, the entire structure begins to split apart. Some of these fractures are so severe, light can pass through them. To stabilize the painting, the damaged panel must be reinforced from behind. Tiny repairs are made carefully, piece by piece, until the surface can finally breathe again without breaking further. Then comes one of the most delicate stages, varnish removal. Old varnish ages badly. Over time, it turns yellow, then brown, until the original artwork becomes trapped beneath a dirty amber veil. As the varnish disappears, the transformation becomes unbelievable. Skin tones soften, fabric details return, shadows regain depth. Even the eyes begin to glow again. For the first time in centuries, the artist's true colors are visible. And suddenly, this no longer feels like a ruined object. It feels human. Every brushstroke reveals the hand of someone who lived hundreds of years ago. Someone who mixed these pigments by hand. Someone who sat for hours, shaping light and shadow with impossible precision. And now, another pair of hands is trying to protect that work from disappearing forever. There's something strangely emotional about restoration, because it isn't about making something new. It's about rescuing what time tried to erase. Some details are too damaged to recover completely. Small paint losses remain visible. Tiny imperfections stay untouched. And that's intentional. A perfect restoration can sometimes destroy history. The goal is not to hide the painting's age, but to preserve its journey. The cleaning continues across the face. Slowly, the expression changes. What once looked cold and lifeless now feels calm, almost peaceful. Light begins reflecting naturally across the skin again. The folds of fabric regain movement. Gold leaf catches illumination exactly the way the original artist intended. And beneath all the damage, a masterpiece emerges. What makes restorations like this extraordinary is that most people would have thrown this away. An abandoned ruin, a cracked panel, a forgotten object covered in dirt. But hidden underneath were centuries of beauty waiting to return. And honestly, that's what makes restoration so satisfying to watch. Not just the cleaning, not just the transformation, but the idea that something broken can still become beautiful again. By the end of the process, the painting feels completely different. Not because it became modern, not because it became perfect, but because it was finally seen again. The colors breathe, the details shine, and the artist's vision survives another generation. For hundreds of years, this painting sat silently in darkness. Now, the world can see it again.